guy poked me. Hey, you wanna fight? I heard Wing Chun really cool. You watch Ip Man and stuff, right? And then he tried to guard my temper so that I fight him, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, no. But then it's just get more annoyed. Yeah.
For sure.
Till the point when I do that, the first couple of times is fine, but the more I do that, because every time I use my martial art, I'm serious about that, right? So the more and more I do that, the more I can feel the guy fear. Because now when I go, I don't stop, right? Usually I stop when he on the ground, and then I got the knee on his throat.
And then he's gonna say, "Hey, what are you doing, man? I just wanted to spar
Yeah.
a little bit. What did you?"
That happens,
And
a
that's how
lot.
people are nowadays. They push you. They poke the bear. As soon as you really rock, what do? They play the victim, right?
Yeah.
That happened to Bruce. Jesse was telling me, for 3 months, this guy was harassing Bruce Lee, right? So you chink, you know good. Japanese martial arts, but in Chinese martial arts. And he was a black belt from Japan, and this guy had a big reputation in Seattle of getting into street fights and being crap at people. So he thought Bruce was just a wuss, because at that time Bruce Lee was in high school. Actually, grade, I forgot what grade, but he was with Jesse. And this guy's pushing Bruce. You want to fight, you want to fight, you want to fight, you want to spar, you want to fight. One of those guys, like YouTube commentators, right? And Bruce is like, no, leave me alone. This goes on for 2 months. One day Bruce is fuming, right? And Jesse's like, what's the matter? You all right? And he's like, no, man, I got enough. I'm going to fight this guy. I'm going to fight him right now. Jesse's like, no. You're going to get suspended. Let me talk to him. So Jesse goes up to the karate guy and he goes, look, Bruce will fight you. And the guy's all happy. He goes, all right, let's do this, right? And Jesse goes, no, not here. We're going to go to the YMCA ballroom court, right? I mean, the gymnasium. So he calls Ed Hart, Ed and Jesse and Bruce. They're on a bus and they're going to the YMCA. And the karate guy was on the bus. So they're all busting him over to go have a fight. And he's just looking at Bruce, like gesturing like this, right? And Bruce wouldn't even look at him. He was so mad. He's like, if I look at him, I'll hit him on the bus. I can't even look at this guy. And then Jesse's like, hey, can you just leave him alone? We're almost there. They get to the YMCA gymnasium. Japanese guy stretching. And Bruce warms up a little bit. He goes, okay, I just want to get something straight. You challenge me, right? And then a Japanese guy's like, yeah, I challenge you. He's still too dumb to realize what Bruce is really asking. Bruce is like, look, if you admit you challenge me, there's no guilt. There's a green light now, right? And the guy still wouldn't understand. The guy's like, yeah, I challenge you. Bruce is all right. Gets into a stance. And at that time, he was still a pure Wing Chun man. This is 1959. Bruce gets into a stance. Japanese guy kicked Bruce. Fast. Almost got Bruce. And Bruce guns out. After he guns out, he chain punched the guy. Goes right into the wall, right? The guy grabs Bruce and gets up. Bruce gets double punch. The guy flies back. When he lands, Bruce kicked him in the face. Jesse tackles Bruce and is like, no, man. The guy's laying there, and Ed is like nervous. Ed's like, oh, I think he died. And then the guy slowly gets back up after a few minutes, and Bruce is like, he thought he killed him. And I know this story is true because I studied with Jesse and I studied with Ed briefly, and they were both at the fight. When the guy got up, they found out later Bruce has cracked his skull. Fucking broke the guy's skull. He could have died.
Yeah.
That's an example of how you poke the guy thinking he's a fighter, but he's not a fighter. He's about antisocial violence. He's coming at you. He's not thinking sparring and play fighting. And that was Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
He had a better chance of winning a lottery. There's so many little Chinese guys he could have picked on. He picked up Bruce Lee. It's like, look. In Chinese, we say, 心里结警打谁某人. That means if you start the fight, even if you die, no one's going to feel sorry for you. Which is completely opposite of today's culture where I can harass you all I want. You want to spar, you want to spar. As soon as you kick my ass, I play the victim and go, hey, man, I didn't want to really fight. I just want to spar. Why did you go so hard? Right? And that's an example. And later on, he had the audacity to go up to Bruce and goes, hey, man, I want private lessons. You want to teach me? Bruce is like, no.
Yeah.
He's just going to pick more fights. Like, what the heck, right? So there are people like this.
Wow.
In the world, man. Imagine if that didn't happen in 1959, it happened in 2020. Bruce would be sued.
Yeah.
He broke the guy's skull, man. He just wanted to have a sparring. Of course, he's not going to say, I harassed a guy for 2 months. You want to spar? You want to spar? My styles. But he's not going to say that. He goes, hey, man, I just want a friendly sparring match. I'm so innocent. He broke my skull. And then Bruce go to jail, right?
Yeah.
Nowadays, if someone goes, hey, I challenge you to a sparring match, you say, no. Why not? You're scared? Yeah, I'm scared. Oh, your kung fu's no good? That's right, my kung fu's no good. Usually, they'll be like, okay, and they'll walk away. If he's dumb enough to keep pushing you, call the cops. If you still won't leave before the cops come, too bad. Then you go in there, right? But like stories like that changed me when I was young. I was like, okay, this is stupid. Okay, you lose, you're in the hospital. You win, he's in the hospital. Neither way,
Yeah.
I don't see the good point about that, right? Because people say they want to spar, and if you don't know the guy, forget it. Like I won't mention his name, but a great martial artist. The place that we rented to do martial art a few years ago.
Okay.
Hapkido guy comes in and goes, "Hey, you want to spar? I heard your JKD is pretty good, right?" Or whatever he said. And the guy's like, "All right," thinking it was going to be a friendly sparring match. The guy kicked him in the nuts. He was peeing blood for 2 weeks. And the guy act like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Yeah.
Here you are thinking you're going to play and spar the guy, and the guy hits you hard and permanently injures you, right? There's a lot of people like that, right? Because when you say the word spar, what do you really mean?
Like how me and Alex play, right?
Yeah.
And we try to get each other nuts. That's what.
And then you make an agreement. You're like, okay, we're gonna go this hard, right? And the guy goes, all right, but then he doesn't keep his word.
Yeah, that's true though.
So you don't know the guy. Why would you put your body on the line, right? So forget it. If you're gonna do it, let's really do it. But then if you really do it, they're like, hey man, I just wanted to. This is passive aggressive, ego, douchey, social violence thing, right?
Yeah.
So for what? Just so you can say you're better than somebody, or he say he's better than you. So why don't you just give them what they want? Just go, oh, you want to kick my ass just to say you're better? How about let's just skip that and go, hey, you're better. Here, you got what you want.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure
now leave.
Yeah.
If you don't fucking leave now, don't cry. Right? So give him what he wants. Hey, you want to say you're better than me? You're better than me. I want you to say that I'm better than you. Hey, he's better than me. Hey. I don't see the point of that. I guess that's why there's people are so divided in every field of life, right? There's a lot of conflict, right? There's no peace because mine is better than yours. And then you're like, no, I'm better than you. And it goes on and on and on and on. There's no peace. There's no love. There's no healing. So in martial art, I mean, you remember the day when I met you, I'm always dropping hints about how good other martial arts are. But I won't tell you what the weakness of each martial art are.
Yeah.
Right? I almost, hey, 洪家菜理法百味螳螂永春. Hey, good here, good here, good here. Oh, 菜理法's really good for that. Oh, 洪拳's really good for that. You know, 百味's really good for that. 螳螂's really good for that. WingChun's really good for that. Karate's really good for that. Blah, 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 blah. Why do we think I do that? Besides the fact that it's true, maybe if I do that, people will learn to be a sponge and absorb everybody, right? If there's 5 guys sitting here right now, and 5 of them have a different approach, why not learn from all of them?
Yeah.
Right? So not only would you become better because you're open-minded, but that would eventually lead to an open heart. So you feel better, talking about anxiety and depression. Mm-hmm. And more importantly, if everybody unite, that's good. If you learn and evolve, that's good, right? So it doesn't take any talent to break something. It takes talent to fix something.
Yeah.
If your Kung Fu, if my Kung Fu is no good, you walk by me and you say, your Kung Fu is no good because blah, 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 blah. And you're right, my Kung Fu is no good. What did you learn?
Nothing,
you walk away with nothing.
Yeah.
Well, maybe a bigger ego, but you walk away with nothing. But if you fix me, hey, Adam, this is why your Kung Fu is no good, blah, 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 blah. Here's how we fix it. You have the brains to design a systematic method to reprogram my central nervous system to make my stuff better and my synapses fire better. That's a work of genius, man.
Yeah, totally agree with that.
Do you want to be, even if it's not a work of genius, at least someone that's intelligent? So do you want to use the opportunity to increase your intellect? Or do you want to use the opportunity to make yourself more stupid? Every time you put somebody down, it takes no talent. Every time you learn how to fix somebody, that takes talent. If you're sick with the COVID, okay, and I say, hey man, you suck, you got COVID. Does that take more talent? Or does someone that goes, I can cure it?
Whoa.
So what kind of martial artist you want to be? Oh, you suck. Well, anyone can do that.
Yeah.
Oh man, hey, I can help you fix that. Really? Oh, I know how to fix that. Are you sure? I think so. Well, Jesse said, in every martial arts style, they have one thing in common. 90% of people not that good, maybe 10% pretty good. So it's not the style. How do you become the 10%? How do you make this smarter? I'm not very smart, But I am smart enough to know if you keep on putting people down, you'll learn nothing.
Yeah.
The martial art community doesn't know that. It approaches it like a cult religious war. The reason is they're still functioning from the lowest center, the security. If you got like people that are secure, they don't put each other down. They learn from each other, right?
Yeah.
And why can't we learn that from martial art, right?
That
It is an art. Shit. You got guys that are doing martial art and maybe 90% not that good, 10% really good. And then you got guys that are naturally extremely violent, combative people. They're born like that. Most of them are in jail or in the military.
Yeah.
Once in a while, you get a guy born where they become really good martial artists and they're naturally inclined to violence. Yeah. Those people are very rare. 1% of 1%. They're very dangerous people, right? So when people go and poke the bear, you better be careful who you're poking.
I don't know, maybe because of the hip hop rap culture kind of thing, and then you thought that you go out and be a gangster to everybody, right? But yeah, like for example,
Comes down to the same thing.
like if for example you poke like a really weak guy, like average guy, that's okay. You get luck and win the fight. But
Yeah.
what happened if you like you said, you poke something like Bruce, like someone like Mike Tyson,
Yeah.
and
I don't think anyone will poke my You would see him walking down the street, you're like, "Ah, shit."
yeah, he way too big. But Bruce, for example,
Yeah.
he looked like
You look at a little guy,
like other Asian dude, right? Like
130 pounds.
who expecting he got
Yeah.
like that crazy speed and
Well,
power?
I think it was
right?
Leor Garcia that said, I'm not sure if it was him, it was one of the earlier students. He said they used to go down to the pool hall or somewhere in Seattle, and Bruce used to get picked on a lot. He said, I can't even call them fights. It was over like, it was over so fast. Like they're not even. It wasn't even fair. Average Joe against Bruce Lee. I mean, come on, man. So you gotta be careful, right? But then you look at it with compassion. Why are people like that? Why do they keep on poking the bear? There's a lot of identity and aggression displacement. Kind of like when people cry and get violent and burn cop cars over a soccer game or a hockey game. Their life sucks so bad. They displace their identity to the sports team and they live through it. So when they lose, they feel like they lose. That's how sad their life is. So why do they keep on putting people down? Deep inside, they feel small. So when you come across people like that, if you're in a position to help them, and most of the time, maybe not, but if you know them personally and you notice this person is constantly putting other people down, then ask them in a very gentle way, like, what can you do? If you can do a lot, you won't be putting other people down. You must not be that competent. But wiggle around it with compliment sandwich, see if you can sneak it in there, and that will help them, right? They'll have a little breakdown, but after that, then maybe they'll cry and they'll realize, hey, actually maybe I'm the person that needs to develop more.